So I just got done finished watching Breaking Bad, all 5 seasons. I really love this show, guys. I wish I can do a full depth review, which I can, but there's just so many other ones out there that are probably way better than I could ever do. But I thought would be really cool is if I could compare Hal from Malcolm in the Middle and Heisenberg / Walter White from Breaking Bad. Because if you guys know, obviously, they're played by the same actors, Bryan Cranston, who was just a phenomenal actor. Let's just get that out of the way. Watching this show, because I've seen Malcolm in the Middle since I was like 13, 12 years old. I saw Breaking Bad around the same time. And I just recently started watching Malcolm in the Middle again, and I knew I had to do this video, guys, because there's just so many similarities between the characters, and I thought it'd be really cool to kind of just, also do the contrast between them. So I'm not going to really explain the plots for either show, guys. I'm assuming you're watching this video because you know both the shows in and out and you really want to just have a fun time listening to this stuff. So let's get into it, guys. Let's compare Walter White, Heisenberg, and let's compare Hal, who doesn't have a last name, guys. Can you also tell me if Malcolm or Reese or any of them have a last name or if they ever get into that? I don't think that show ever explains the last name dilemma. Kind of like how Penny never had a last name from The Big Bang Theory, but the show's still an awesome show. Who cares about the last name? So let's start with Breaking Bad, guys, because I think it's a bit more fresh in my memory. We see Walter White just start as this kind of reclusive man to himself. He doesn't really want to hurt anybody. This is early on, guys. I know he obviously does, but we could see that he's very to himself. He doesn't really tell people too much stuff, and he has these random occasions where he'll say sarcastic things or really just turn off his caring meter, if you will, where he just doesn't give a shit. There's this whole scene where he just basically gets his son drunk as fuck and just like, you live and you learn. And now with Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, he kind of has that similar aspect where he's like, you live and you learn, I feel like if I were to say it, guys, I think Hal does a really good job of being Walter White's sarcastic character. Like, picture this, guys. If you just took Walter White and basically took out the super smart chemistry and just basically put him when he's a beer in or like a couple alcoholic beverages in, he's very similar to Hal in every way, shape, and form. Now, let's get a bit more in depth. I'm going to put some scenes up, guys, that I think are very similar in character. So let's talk about this angry scene we see from Hal. He's just very pissed off. I remember he tried to stop this, not motorcyclist, this guy in a car, in a super fast car, and just kept going down the street being a dickhead. And Hal really wanted to do everything to stop it. So Hal's just waiting outside, and then finally he falls asleep right when he needs to chase the guy, ends up missing it, and he just has this total melt. We saw Heisenberg had the same one where it's a famous crawl space where he's just laughing hysterically and kind of just out of we don't even know. It could be out of misery, out of just laughing at his life. But I think that's very similar in character between the two.
Hear me out, please!
I also think the way he treats his family, he's never really direct with the son. He lets the mom, for some reason, kind of wear the pants in the relationship. We see a lot of just Hal going with it, like, okay, whatever your mother says, I'm not gonna rebuttal. Towards the end of Breaking Bad, we see Walter White end up growing the pants now, and it's funny because in Malcolm in the Middle, it's very similar too. He ends up kind of getting fed up, and you see him start kind of running things a little. One of my favorite episodes in Malcolm in the Middle is where Hal and them go to the pizza place, and apparently they were paying for gratuity the entire time they've been going there, and Lois didn't know that. And when she confronts the manager, he's all like, we don't have those type of margins, we can't pay you back, we're sorry, like, basically you fucked up, you should have read the shit. But obviously Lois was like, no, I'm not about that, we are not coming back, and basically puts a foot in the family and says, if you guys go there, you're dead to me, basically. I won't do shit for you guys. So the similarity, guys, between Hal and Heisenberg is where Hal always gets his way. Because in this episode, guys, he ends up just going there himself. He ends up bringing it home very sneaky. He's so deceitful to his wife, though obviously in a less humanely crazy way. Instead of, cooking crystal meth, he's bringing home a pizza that his wife won't let him do. But if you look really thinly, it's very similar in character structure. Hal wants to get what he wants, but not upset the people around him. So he works a way around keeping his kids happy and also his wife happy. But it's not really the right thing to do and lie to your spouse. You should maybe talk it over and go over it with her and explain to her that this pizza is fucking gas and I want to keep it. And I don't give a fuck what you say, Lois. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, let's talk about some things that are different. Which is a lot of things, actually, obviously completely two different shows. But I want to talk about the very serious thing we get with Heisenberg, where he's pissed. because Hal is very just like the lighthearted version of Hal, where you don't see him too mad, or when he's mad, he's kind of crazy. Like in the episode where Malcolm and his friends build the robot, Hal basically is going crazy because Lois is out of town. So he's helping his friends build the robot. He ends up just taking over the project, just being crazy, and then kind of comes to his senses. Funny thing is though, Heisenberg just takes it to that whole new level. And if it's funny because I think if we gave Hal cancer like we did with Heisenberg, I think it's the same character, guys, because anytime Hal has that I don't give a shit attitude, it's mainly because of the cancer in Breaking Bad. But when I say I don't give a shit attitude in Malcolm in the Middle, it's because his life is never what he amounted to do. In Breaking Bad, he did everything he wanted to do. He's a genius. He ended up having a family, but he never really amounted to the greatness that he wanted to. Here in Malcolm in the Middle, he didn't really try as much and just is okay with having nothing. Now, real quick, guys, I want to talk about Bryan Cranston for a second. This guy is an amazing actor. Seems like a really down-to-earth human being. I love him in interviews. He's such a funny guy. And it's crazy how he kind of just has this Bryan Cranston acting to him. And anything you watch him, he plays that very lighthearted, you know, I care about you guy. Yet he still has those demeaning factors to him that make him a great character in whatever he plays in. Basically, guys, fucking Bryan Cranston is the GOAT. Now, side note, I remember watching Godzilla, guys, that with Aaron Taylor Johnson a while back, and we had Bryan Cranston in it. I was so pumped for the movie. Spoiler alert, he fucking died like 20 minutes in Godzilla, and the rest of the movie was fucking terrible. The CGI was good, but other than that, I really didn't like that Godzilla. But that's for another topic for the day. But that's how much I like Bryan Cranston, and that's how much of a fucking badass he is. That just the 20 minutes of that movie was way better than the rest of Godzilla, and he was in it for 20 minutes only. Now, there's so many scenes I want to talk about, guys, but apparently the fair use slot has been getting worse and worse, especially for small YouTubers like myself. So I can't really go crazy with the clips from shows because I just end up getting, not even that I can't get money for it, but they won't even let me put it on the internet because I don't even get paid a dime. I just love doing this, but when I can't even show you guys like the hard work and edits I put in the video, it is a little disappointing.
You're goddamn right.
But hey, I do with what I can. Thank you guys though for watching so much. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously, I wish I can do a much longer video, but like I said, guys, it's really hard for me to get these fair use things in. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. Obviously, watch Malcolm in the Middle and also watch Breaking Bad if you haven't yet. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.